Welcome to another Brand Decoded show. This time we're doing something dramatically different. I'm actually doing a review of a MacBook Air M3 versus MacBook Pro M4. And it's like a M4 Pro. So it's like MacBook Pro, M4 Pro. They have like a really complicated taxonomy of names between the Apple products. So unlike the usual MacBook reviews that I'm seeing on YouTube all over, because I've done a metric ton of research as to what is going to be the best computer for me, and I'm going to tell you a story how I got here so you can understand how much work I actually put into it. So the first step, this is the 2020, so 4 years old laptop, MacBook Pro, Intel i7, really good machine. The only problem is the battery life. So the Intel architecture, it cannot pull so much power from the battery. I think that the battery is pretty much the same as on the MacBook Air, size-wise. They're pretty similar size machines. But just the Intel architecture, and I stuck on this computer because this is our last Intel Mac in existence. Like, it's the latest and greatest. I think I spent around $3,500 on it. Has 32 gigs of RAM, Intel i7, 1 terabyte of storage, which at the time was like really large storage on a device like this. And prior to this one, I had a MacBook Pro 15-inch all the way from 2014 until 2020. That one lasted me 6 years. And prior to that one, I had a MacBook Air. So I kind of went full circle, like from 13 Air to the MacBook Pro 15 to the MacBook Pro 13 and back to the MacBook Air 13. Now, I got the Pro, and let's backtrack a little bit. I got the MacBook Air in space black with not enough storage. I was just like, let me give it a try out. Like, if I decide to buy it, I'll get the one with the terabyte. I was just like trying to scratch the itch, and that was like a couple of months ago. And I'm like, it's not really that much better, but the battery life is banger. And I wasn't like, I'm not gonna buy a machine that has 512. So I returned that one, and I try to use the MacBook Pro, the 2021, and the battery life just sucks. It can't pull more than a reasonable 3 hours of battery life, which is not enough. Like, I can sit out 3 hours in one swoop just doing the work. So it means I would drain 100% of the battery, or like 90%. Like, I just would have to lug around the charger everywhere. And just the sheer fact that you have to think about the charger makes your day not portable. I want to be on the go. Right, so when I travel, if I go somewhere, I just want to pull up my laptop and not have to think about battery. And that was not happening. So I'm like, maybe I should get the Pro. I want to get something that's going to be the final purchase. And I go and get the Pro. And the MacBook Pro, unfortunately, I returned it yesterday, so I don't have it here to show it. But it's thick. It's 1.55 kilos, which is about 3.3 pounds or something like that. It's very thick, it's 14-inch, had a beautiful liquid retina display, 3000 resolution, with 120 hertz, smooth as butter. And it had the nano texture display, so there was no glossy glare. And I was mesmerized with the machine. But I ordered also in space black, so I've been using it for a month. So, like, quick recap, if you're buying anything Apple, you absolutely need to buy it at the beginning of the November when the holiday sales start, right before Black Friday and the whole shopping gamut, because they have a return policy that extends until January 8th. So if you want to buy something and try it out, this gives you like almost 2 months to try something out. I've been using that computer for a month, and to save my life, like, I love the machine. It was like such a love-hate relationship that I'm looking at the display that's better than the MacBook Air, better than the 5K Apple display that I have at home, with a smoothness that like you've never seen before. But that thickness, the 300 grams of difference. So this thing is 125, 1 kilo, 250 grams. And the other one is 1 kilo, 550 grams. So 300 grams of difference. It's almost, let's say almost a pound of difference. It's 0.7 pounds or 0.8 pounds heavier, right? And like, I actually had to get a backpack to wear it. And as I'm carrying it in the backpack, I can just like feel it on my back. It's not casual. I'm used to lugging around the iPad everywhere. And iPad, great writing device. I really love it, but it's not the computer on which I can work. I have to have Slack. I have to have multitasking. I have to have a full-fledged operating system to run my business. I cannot run it off of the iPad. I could, but it's like a limited usage. It's not the real deal. And like a month in of owning it, like I call my business rep at the Apple store and I ordered the exact configuration for the M3 Air. Like I extended to 1 terabyte, and it's like I'm just going to use this as a writing machine and light work, so I don't have to worry about the storage. And I extend the RAM so that I can like blare up as many windows as I can. It has 24 gigabytes of RAM, so has less RAM than my old MacBook that had 32 gigs. So, and it's unified. So I think it's just like 16 gigs of RAM plus 8 like of fast memory from the SSD borrowed or something like that. I don't even know what unified memory is. I can just like tell you from my memory recollection, it's like it's not as great as like just classic RAM. But I get this thing and like it's so much lighter. Like I can hold it in one hand and it's easy to pick up. Like when I'm working on the couch, it's very comfy. Like it's not heavy. Doesn't impact me. That like 0.8 pounds, it's a huge difference. Like 0.8 pounds is probably like 2 or 3 iPhones weight. Like it's a massive difference. And the only problem, the downgrade that I would say is like a notable, I'm missing this, is that MacBook M4 Pro had speakers that are absolutely unbelievable. But also, like we have to talk about the price, right? MacBook M4 Pro with 2 terabytes, 42 gigabytes of RAM, and that M4 Pro chip ran me $4,000. I even forgot about how much I paid for it. I was like, holy hell! Like I paid like almost $4,000 for this, 3,900, whatever. And that, so I'll tell you the story about that. Those speakers on that thing. If that thing wasn't as thick and heavy as it is, I would buy it in a heartbeat. Like I wouldn't care about $2,000. It really doesn't matter. Like when you get something of good of a quality as that thing. But what it didn't have going on, like, so let me finish up the sound quality. I usually listen to the music on my computer when I am using my AirPods, right? I'm somewhere out and about, pull up my laptop, right? Get the headphones in. And I put the headphones in and they didn't connect. And I play the music from the speakers. And I was trying to figure out, is this coming from the AirPods or is this coming from the computer? The sound is so profound. It's like that you are in the party. The surround system is just unbelievable. So the screen unbelievable, and the audio was beyond and outside of this world. Now the 3 things that killed, besides the price, that killed the deal for me purchasing that laptop. First, the weight, I mentioned that one. Second, the black screen. So I got this one by accident. I actually really wanted to buy the black one. And when my Apple sales rep sent me this, maybe she put in the wrong order. But I am glad she did, because even like right now, there's like a little bit of a messy from the holding it with the fingers and stuff like that. It's barely visible on a video. If I pulled up that other thing, it would be so dirty. Like you would see the fingerprints everywhere. The matte black color on a Apple laptop is an absolute no-go. Looks pretty, not practical. Not practical at all. Just get this color, believe me. Don't worry about it. Like don't sweat it. Just it looks beautiful. You will like it in the store. 1.5 days later, you'll have something on your fingers, eating a chips or whatnot. It's gonna be all over the laptop. You'll have to clean it like instantly. Does not happen like with the gray color. Just does not. Like so much better. So I'm like thinking I have a computer that's heavier. I have this color that annoys me. And the other thing that goes for both of these laptops, like I think that this is plastic, right? The old MacBook Air still exceeds the expectations than the both of these machines because it's aluminum, right? And when your hands get sweaty on aluminum, they don't get sticky. On plastic, it does. It's just like gets sticky. And on the black one, like the sweat just like stays over there. It looks disgusting as fuck. And I just couldn't imagine myself putting $2,000 more into a machine and have so many things that annoy me. The color that looks dirtier, the fact like that my palms can get sweaty on that plastic more easily, and top it all off, that gets like so dirty and costs $2,000 more. It's just like it's a luxury good at $4,000 price point. It's not a luxury good at $2,000 price point. And this thing was just like lighter. All right, so it was a no-brainer for me. Now, as far as the battery life goes, let's maybe someone else wants to get like the space gray. The only other thing that I would think, like if I bought the base model with 1 terabyte, it would probably be around $2,200 or something like that, which is on pair with this machine, and it would have similar amount of RAM, so that could be like an option. But the lightness that comes from this one, and I'm like, it's not a serious machine. For that price difference, I'm just gonna get myself a M4 Pro Mini for the house, and I'm gonna use that for video editing. This is a machine on the go that is also capable of video editing. This M3 chip is amazing, and even though the new M3 is coming out in new M4 Air should be coming out in April or May, if you need a computer, I don't think that you need to like wait for a generation next to come. The way that the Intel i7 that I had from 5 years ago is still a viable computer. The fact that these batteries are lasting so long, it's crazy. When I bought the Intel i7, I think it started off with like 8 hours of real usage, and over time, as you're adding the apps and the machinery is just like slurping all the power, guess what? The battery life will be just dying off as you're adding Chrome tabs, right? So like if I optimize it, I probably could get like 4 hours, 4.5 hours of battery life. And if I replaced it, I could probably get back to 6 or 7 hours of the working time. But that's nothing. So when you buy a laptop, you look at its performance on the battery life and you just cut it in half in 2 years. That's how you observe it. So if I get this one at the full heavy usage, so I have the same apps that I have on the Intel, the same everything, the entire setup is the same. It pulls 16 hours. It's not like advertised 16 hours. It's like I'm telling you from my personal experience, this shit is pulling 16 hours. 2 years from now, I'll be excited because it will be pulling 8, right? And at some point, I will be able to just go to the Apple store and like, hey, I will pay. It's $150, $200, whatever, to get the battery life. It matters for me. I work from this thing. I make a living off of it, right? I need my communication flowing. I need the apps working. I need the entire ecosystem to perform, right? So from the get-go, like I'm looking 2 years from now, it will have 8 hours, which is like an entire workday. The whole point of what I'm trying to achieve with it is that I can charge it in the morning or in the evening and get out of it for the whole day and not worry about it. I do miss the nano texture, and I think that I will miss it when I'm on some beach and working from the beach. I think that's like I'm gonna be like, I wish I did get that nano texture. But what I'm not gonna miss is 0.8 pounds heavier thing carried around. That's like I know for a fact when I'm lugging around my backpack and go to Europe and stuff like that, like I get like a duffel bag and everything, and a backpack on my back with like a laptop or two. Sometimes I used to bring my Lenovo for cybersecurity and for programming purposes, which is a Linux-based laptop. So if I had two in a backpack, it would literally kill me. Like I'd be like a trooper, like a I don't know, unit, literally like military guy with all my equipment and touristy stuff like picked up with me on a month-long trip. So the weight factor was extremely important for me, that I sacrificed the beautiful sound, I sacrificed amazing screen with out of this world. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to do, write code, write content, light photo editing, and maybe once a week I'll drop a video on it to be rendered. And I'm not even editing my own videos. Like, this is gonna go verbatim as I explained it. And it's a different kind of episode. Let me know if you liked it. I just wanted to share my thoughts. Like, I've seen a lot of people talk about these things. I hope it helps someone decide what kind of a machine do they want to get. But ultimately, the final nail in the coffin was that $2,000 difference that will get me an amazing M4 Mini. And guess what? This M4 Mini is not just a desktop. You can pack it in it's a little box. It's the size of an Apple TV, like literally like this size. You can bring that as a laptop. You bring a monitor connector and a keyboard and a mouse, or my parents back home in Serbia have those. So just plug and play those when I'm home, right? And voila, I brought my main machine with me, even if I'm traveling. So that's all I had to say about the M3 Air comparison with the M4 MacBook Pro, whatever, like lineup. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps you make a decision on what you're gonna purchase. And I'm gonna give like a final recommendation. If you're buying a laptop as the only computer and you're more sedentary, or you just need to bring it on a travel when you just need to, and you're not traveling in a similar fashion like I am, M4 Pro is a good computer. It's absolutely amazing. And it's probably the best bet if you want to have that as your only computer. But given my setup, that I have like a desktop and a laptop, and now 2 backup laptops, there was no need for an overkill of a machine like that. So I'm not gonna knock on the computer. I actually think it's like very great. It's just for my particular circumstances, M3 Air, even if I end up owning it for like a year or so, it's like way better option than the Pro. And I think for the most people that are not working on the computer, like they don't have a job that's like completely attached to the computer, I would definitely stick with the Air. Even if you're a programmer, it has everything that you need. And yeah, I know this is different. Let me know how you liked it in the comments. If it's your first time watching Brian the Code Show, please subscribe. If you like me. If you don't like me, please block me. I don't want you seeing my face if I'm not giving you positive energy. I'm here for the vibes. Subscribe to the newsletter, briandecoded.com. Peace. Love you all. Bye-bye.